Hey guys, tonight we're taking a deep dive into something utterly fascinating, yet incredibly mundane: laundry in Joseon-era Korea. Imagine, if you will, the gentle rustle of silk, the rhythmic thud of a fulling block, and the faint, clean scent of lye soap drifting on the breeze. You're standing in a quiet courtyard, the sun warming your face, watching women, their sleeves rolled up, engaged in a chore that has remained essentially unchanged for centuries. The air is alive with the murmur of their conversations, the splash of water, and the purposeful sound of fabric being coaxed into cleanliness. It's a scene both ancient and timeless, a window into the daily lives of people who, despite their differences, shared the universal need for clean clothes. But let's be honest, you probably wouldn't survive a single day trying to keep your modern wardrobe pristine using only Joseon-era techniques. Forget your washing machine and dryer. We're talking about a level of physical labor and meticulous care that would make your current laundry day feel like a spa retreat. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And as always, I'd love to hear where you're listening from tonight and what time it is for you. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You find yourself transported, not through a time machine, but through the gentle whispers of the past, to a small village on the outskirts of Hanyang, the bustling capital of Joseon, Korea. The year is, let's say, 1750. The air is crisp, carrying the distant sounds of street vendors and the closer, more immediate sounds of daily life in the home. You're standing in a traditional hanok, its tiled roof curving gracefully against the sky, its wooden beams exuding a sense of enduring history. Your initial impression is one of serene beauty, but beneath the surface lies a world of practicalities, and right now, your eyes are drawn to the laundry area. It's not a separate room as you might imagine in a modern home. Instead, you see a designated space in the courtyard, typically near a water source, perhaps a well, or a stream that meanders nearby. The first thing you notice is the sheer manual effort involved. There are no machines, no electric pumps, just human hands, water, and an array of tools that seem both primitive and remarkably effective. A large wooden tub, perhaps carved from a single tree trunk, sits ready, filled with water drawn fresh from the well. Beside it, you see an assortment of rough, textured fabrics, cottons, hemp, and even some silk, each waiting its turn. The process begins, not with a flick of a switch, but with the careful preparation of the water. This isn't just any water, it's often treated. For instance, ashes from the kitchen fire, particularly those from burning hardwoods, were frequently used. These ashes, rich in lye, would be leached with water to create a crude but effective alkaline solution. Imagine the careful scooping of the cooled ashes into a porous basket or a cloth bag, suspended over a larger container, as water is slowly poured over them. The liquid that drips through is a weak lye, known for its ability to cut through grease and loosen dirt from fabric fibers. It's a surprisingly effective degreaser, though one must be careful not to make it too strong, lest it damage delicate fabrics. This meticulous preparation highlights a key aspect of Joseon laundry. It was a skill, an art form even, passed down through generations, requiring a deep understanding of natural materials and their properties. You can almost feel the gentle warmth of the lye solution as it's added to the washing water, subtly changing its texture, preparing it for the strenuous work ahead. It's not just about getting things clean. It's about preserving the life of the garments, ensuring they last for years, sometimes even decades. Historians still argue about the exact strength of these lye solutions. Was it a standardized measurement, Or did each household develop its own secret recipe based on available resources and experience? One can only imagine the lively debates among Joseon housewives about whose lye was best for removing those stubborn kimchi stains. Now let's talk about the soap, or rather, the lack of what you might recognize as modern soap. In Joseon, Korea, true soap, in the sense of a saponified fat product, was not widely available or commonly used for everyday laundry by the general populace. Instead, they relied on various natural cleansers. One of the most common was the use of re-rinsed rice water, especially the water left over after washing rice for cooking. This starchy water has mild cleansing properties and was particularly gentle on delicate silks and fine cottons. Another popular option was the soapberry, or mujuga in Korean, a fruit whose husks contain saponins, natural surfactants that create a soapy lather when mixed with water. You might see women gently crushing these dried berries, letting them soak in water to release their cleansing properties. The resulting liquid would then be added to the wash water, producing a light foam that, while not as abundant as modern detergents, was surprisingly effective. Think of the subtle, earthy scent it might have, far removed from the artificial fragrances of today's laundry aisles. It's a completely different sensory experience. You can almost hear the soft sloshing as these natural cleansers are mixed in, creating a humble yet effective cleaning agent. It's a testament to human ingenuity, finding solutions within the natural world. Speaking of ingenuity, one might wonder if anyone ever tried using fermented cabbage juice to clean their clothes. Probably not, given the smell, but imagine the bravery. It makes you think twice about complaining about your unscented detergent. Once the water and cleansing agents are ready, the actual washing begins. This is where the physical labor truly comes into play. You observe women kneeling by the wooden tub, their sleeves rolled high, their hands plunging into the water. The clothes aren't simply tossed in, they are carefully submerged, saturated with the soapy solution. Then comes the scrubbing. For more heavily soiled items, a washboard-like surface might be used, though not in the ridged, metal sense you might picture. Instead, it could be a smooth, flat stone or a specially prepared wooden board, often with a slight incline to aid in water drainage. The fabric is rubbed vigorously against this surface, using the friction to dislodge dirt particles. This is not a gentle tumble cycle. It's a direct, hands-on battle against grime. You can hear the rhythmic scrape and swish as the fabric is worked over, the muscles in the women's arms straining with the effort. It's a full-body workout, far more intense than simply loading a machine. You might even see them using their feet, carefully treading on larger items like blankets or heavy outer garments to help work the water and cleanser through the fabric. It's a sort of human-powered agitation, remarkably effective for heavy-duty cleaning. This deep, physical engagement with the fabric is a far cry from the detached experience of modern laundry. It's almost a dance, a rhythmic engagement with the material itself. You might even find yourself humming along to the unspoken rhythm of their movements. Did they ever get competitive about who could scrub the fastest? "Mine's cleaner, Jiangmai," one might playfully call out, as she vigorously scrubs a silk robe. After the initial scrubbing, the clothes are rinsed. And this isn't just one quick rinse. It's a series of careful, thorough rinses. Imagine carrying buckets of fresh, clear water from the well, or leading the laundered items down to a clean section of the nearby stream. The goal is to remove every last trace of dirt and cleansing agent. Each item is submerged, agitated, and squeezed repeatedly in fresh water until the water runs clear. This meticulous rinsing is crucial, especially when using natural lye solutions or plant-based cleansers, as any residue could irritate the skin or even damage the fabric over time. You might see the water turning cloudy with the initial rinses, gradually clearing with each subsequent immersion. The women are patient, their movements deliberate, ensuring that no shortcut is taken. This dedication to thoroughness is a hallmark of Joseon craftsmanship, extending even to the most humble of household chores. It highlights a culture where the quality of work was paramount, regardless of the task's perceived importance. It reminds you that the pursuit of cleanliness has always been an exacting science, even without modern equipment. It's like a never-ending cycle, like when you think you've finished all your emails, but then another 20 pop up. Just one more rinse, they'd say, just one more. Historians still debate whether there was a set number of rinses, or if it was simply a visual assessment based on the clarity of the water. Was there a Joseon-era rinse inspector, making sure everyone was doing their due diligence? Probably not, but you can imagine the knowing glances between neighbors. Once thoroughly rinsed, the clothes move to the next critical stage, drying. But again, this isn't as simple as tossing them into a machine. Joseon-era drying was an art form, deeply influenced by the weather and the type of fabric. For most items, especially cotton and hemp, the sun and wind were the primary drying agents. You'd see clothes draped over bamboo poles, laid out on clean mats in the sun, or hung on ropes stretched across the courtyard. The sun's UV rays provided a natural bleaching effect, helping to whiten fabrics, while the breeze carried away moisture. However, silk, being a more delicate fiber, required a gentler approach. Direct sunlight could weaken its fibers and cause colors to fade. So, silk garments would be dried in the shade, often indoors or under a shaded veranda, ensuring they retained their luster and strength. Imagine the careful positioning of each garment, maximizing air circulation while protecting delicate materials. It's a careful ballet of observation and knowledge, understanding how different fabrics react to environmental conditions. It's almost like they were sun sommeliers, knowing just the right vintage of sunlight for each fabric. This careful approach to drying speaks volumes about the value placed on clothing and textiles in Joseon society. Clothes were often hand-spun, hand-woven, and hand-dyed, representing a significant investment of time and resources. Protecting them meant extending their lifespan, a practical necessity in an era without fast fashion. You might even see a woman gently fanning a silk garment, coaxing the last bits of moisture from its delicate weave, almost as if she were whispering secrets to the fabric. Now let's talk about an absolutely fascinating and unique aspect of Joseon-era laundry, the fulling process known as dadimi or darajil. This was not just about drying. It was about ironing, pressing, and imparting a distinctive crispness and sheen to the fabric, especially to cotton and linen garments. Once the clothes were almost dry, but still slightly damp, they would be placed on a smooth, hard surface, often a large, flat stone or a specially prepared wooden block. Then two women, often sitting opposite each other, would take turns beating the fabric with flat, smooth wooden mallets, known as bangmangai. Imagine the rhythmic thud-thud-thud echoing through the courtyard, a comforting sound of domestic industry. This beating process, which could last for a considerable time, served multiple purposes. Firstly, it smoothed out wrinkles, much like ironing. Secondly, and more importantly, it compacted the fibers of the fabric, making them denser, firmer, and more resilient. This increased the fabric's durability and also gave it a beautiful, subtle sheen, a characteristic hallmark of Joseon textiles. It's like their version of a fabric softener, but instead of chemicals, they used good old-fashioned percussive therapy. The synchronized movements of the two women, the rhythmic beat of the mallets, it's almost meditative to observe. This practice was so ingrained in Joseon life that the sound of daddy-me was a common background noise in any Korean village or town. Historians still marvel at the effectiveness of this technique, a testament to ancient Korean engineering. They say the best bangmen were passed down through generations, almost like family heirlooms. The fulling process, while primarily functional, also had a social dimension. It was often a communal activity, especially among women in a household or neighborhood. While the thud-thud-thud of the bangmangai filled the air, stories were exchanged, gossip was shared, and bonds were strengthened. It was a time for conversation, for companionship, for the quiet rhythms of daily life to unfold. You can almost hear their soft murmurs, their occasional laughter, punctuating the steady beat of the mallets. This shared labor fostered a sense of community and mutual support, transforming a tedious chore into a social gathering. It's a beautiful contrast to our often solitary modern laundry experiences. Imagine trying to have a deep conversation over the roar of your washing machine. What was that? Did you say you're going on a trip or that you have a new chip? One can almost picture a friendly competition. My mallets are faster than yours. Or watch this, I can make a perfect crease with one tap. This aspect of shared labor also meant that knowledge and techniques were readily transferred from one generation to the next, ensuring the continuity of these intricate skills. It's a poignant reminder that even in the most ordinary tasks, human connection and community can flourish. For particularly fine or delicate fabrics, especially silk, the fulling process was adapted or sometimes omitted entirely to prevent damage. Instead, these garments might be gently pressed by hand or with smooth, warm stones. Imagine a silk robe, meticulously smoothed by hand, then carefully laid over a warm, sun-heated stone, the subtle warmth helping to remove any lingering wrinkles and impart a gentle drape. This painstaking attention to detail underscores the value of these garments, often reserved for special occasions or for those of higher social standing. It's not just about cleaning, it's about preserving the aesthetic and structural integrity of the fabric. It's like giving your favorite cashmere sweater a spa treatment, rather than just throwing it in the rough and tumble of the regular wash. The very act of caring for these fabrics was an expression of respect for the materials and the craftsmanship involved in their creation. There was no delicate cycle button to press. Instead, it was all about gentle hands and precise judgment. You might even observe a woman carefully inspecting a silk garment after drying, holding it up to the light, checking for any imperfections, any lingering creases, a testament to her dedication to the task. Beyond the main washing, rinsing, and fulling, there were also specialized techniques for stain removal. Because harsh chemical bleaches or stain removers were non-existent, Joseon Koreans relied on natural remedies and a deep understanding of organic chemistry. For oil-based stains, finely ground clay or absorbent powders derived from plant materials might be applied to draw out the grease. Imagine a woman carefully sprinkling a pale powder over a fresh grease spot, allowing it to sit and absorb the oil before gently brushing it away. For stains from plant dyes or inks, which were notoriously difficult to remove, acidic solutions from fermented grains or fruit juices might be used. Think of the tangy scent of fermented rice water being dabbed onto a stubborn ink mark, the subtle effervescence as it works to break down the pigment. It required patience, multiple applications, and often a bit of trial and error. This wasn't a one-size-fits-all approach. Each stain had its own natural antidote. It's almost like they had a Joseon stain removal encyclopedia in their heads, passed down through generations. For persimmon juice, try this. For mud, try that. Historians still debate the exact recipes for some of these specialized stain removers, as many were kept as closely guarded family secrets. One can only imagine the sheer joy and relief when a particularly nasty stain was finally conquered using these ingenious methods. The tools used for laundry, while seemingly simple, were often crafted with remarkable precision and care. The bangmangai, those wooden mallets for fulling, were typically made from dense hardwoods, carefully shaped and polished to prevent splintering and ensure a smooth, even strike. The wash tubs, often made from sturdy wood, were designed to be durable and watertight, a testament to skilled carpentry. Even the ropes used for drying, often made from twisted straw or hemp, were chosen for their strength and resilience. You might notice the smooth, worn handles of the bangmangai, polished by countless hours of use, a silent testament to the generations of hands that have gripped them. These weren't mass-produced items. They were often handmade by local artisans, tailored to the specific needs of the household. It speaks to a time when tools were valued, maintained, and passed down, becoming almost extensions of the hands that wielded them. It's a far cry from today's disposable culture. You almost expect them to have names like All Thumper or the Wrinkle Slayer. Did they ever engrave their names on them? Probably not, but it's a fun thought. The social hierarchy also influenced laundry practices. While commoners relied on communal washing areas and shared labor, the royal family and aristocratic households had dedicated laundresses and more elaborate facilities. Imagine the vast quantities of clothing, from everyday garments to elaborate ceremonial robes, that needed meticulous care in the palace. These laundresses would have access to the finest natural ingredients, specialized drying areas, and perhaps even early forms of heated rooms for drying during colder months. The sheer scale of laundry in a large aristocratic household would have been immense, a continuous cycle of washing, drying, and fulling to maintain the pristine appearance of the elite. This disparity in resources and labor highlights the social stratification of Joseon society, where even something as basic as laundry reflected one's status. It's like the difference between doing your own laundry at a coin-op versus sending it all out to a fancy dry cleaner, but on a much grander historical scale. You can almost smell the faint scent of expensive incense that might have clung to the robes of the nobility, contrasting with the more earthy scent of commoners' garments. It's interesting to think that even laundry could be a status symbol. Beyond the practicalities, there was a deep cultural significance attached to clothing and its care. Clean, well-maintained clothing was a reflection of a person's diligence, their respect for themselves, and their family's honor. It was a visual representation of virtue and meticulousness. A person with unkempt or dirty clothes might be seen as lazy or disrespectful, regardless of their actual character. This societal expectation placed a considerable burden on women, who were primarily responsible for household laundry. The act of washing and caring for clothes was an integral part of their domestic duties, a visible demonstration of their competence and devotion to their family. It's a powerful social mirror, reflecting back values and expectations. You can almost feel the weight of that responsibility, the daisy. Ready to present a spotless image to the world. Imagine the pressure, knowing that your laundry skills were essentially on public display. Oh, did you see the stains on Lady Kim's hanbok? Scandalous. The dedication to cleanliness wasn't just about hygiene. It was about upholding social norms and personal reputation. The seasonal variations also played a significant role in laundry practices. During the hot, humid summers, drying clothes could be a challenge, requiring careful attention to air circulation to prevent mildew. The intense sun, while good for bleaching, also meant that delicate fabrics needed to be dried in the shade. In contrast, the harsh winters presented their own set of difficulties. Freezing temperatures made outdoor washing nearly impossible, forcing households to find indoor solutions or postpone laundry until warmer spells. Imagine the chapped hands and aching joints from washing clothes in icy water. It paints a vivid picture of the resilience and adaptability required to maintain cleanliness throughout the year. You can almost feel the biting cold in the air, the steam rising from the wash water, a stark contrast to the humid warmth of summer. This constant adaptation to nature's whims made laundry a truly dynamic and responsive task. It's like a never-ending game of environmental chess, always strategizing against the elements. Historians still ponder how they managed to keep warm while doing laundry in winter. Did they wear special insulated gloves, or simply grin and bear it? Probably the latter, knowing the tough spirit of Joseon Koreans. The relationship between laundry and personal hygiene in Joseon, Korea is also worth exploring. While daily bathing as we know it today was not as common for everyone, cleanliness of clothing was paramount. The focus was often on keeping outer garments clean, as these were the most visible aspects of a person's presentation. Inner garments might be changed more frequently, but the outer layers were what projected an image to the world. This highlights a subtle but important distinction in their approach to hygiene. It wasn't just about removing dirt from the body. It was about presenting a clean, orderly appearance through one's attire. You can almost picture the subtle nuances, the way a person's outer robe, freshly laundered and fulled, would move with a crispness that bespoke care and attention. This emphasis on outward appearance wasn't mere vanity. It was deeply intertwined with social mores and a collective sense of order. It's like your mom telling you to always wear clean underwear in case you get into an accident, but for your entire wardrobe and your public reputation. Did they ever have smell tests to see if clothes were truly clean? Probably not officially, but you can bet a few discerning noses were at work. The materials themselves influenced laundry methods significantly. Hemp, a staple fabric for commoners, was incredibly durable but also quite stiff. It required vigorous scrubbing and repeated fulling to soften its fibers and make it more comfortable to wear. Cotton, though softer, still benefited from the fulling process to achieve its desired crispness. Silk, on the other hand, demanded the utmost gentleness. Harsh scrubbing or aggressive beating would damage its delicate proteins, leading to a loss of its characteristic luster and drape. Imagine the careful handling of a vibrant silk hanbok, knowing that a single wrong move could compromise its beauty. This varied approach to different fabrics demonstrates a sophisticated understanding of textile properties, a knowledge gained through generations of practical experience. It's a bit like a chef knowing exactly how long to cook each ingredient for the perfect dish. They truly were textile whisperers, understanding the language of threads. This deep material knowledge ensured that each garment was treated optimally, maximizing its lifespan and preserving its aesthetic qualities. It makes you realize how much knowledge was held in the hands and minds of ordinary people. One intriguing aspect is the use of natural scents in laundry. While strong artificial perfumes were not available, subtle fragrances from natural sources might have been incorporated. For instance, Dried herbs or fragrant flowers could be placed among freshly laundered and dried clothes to impart a pleasant, natural aroma. Imagine the faint, earthy scent of dried mugwort, or the sweet aroma of chrysanthemum petals permeating a freshly folded stack of clothing. This wasn't just about masking odors. It was about adding another layer of care and refinement to the garments. It's a gentle aromatherapy for your wardrobe, a subtle luxury enjoyed by all who wore the clothes. This practice speaks to a broader appreciation for nature and its gifts, integrating them into daily routines in harmonious ways. It's like putting a dryer sheet in your machine, but way more natural and, dare I say, more chic. Did they ever try to make kimchi-scented fabric? Hopefully not, but imagine the possibilities if they had. The design of the hanok, the traditional Korean house, also often incorporated elements that facilitated laundry. Courtyards provided open, sunny spaces for drying. Eaves and verandas offered shaded areas for delicate items. The presence of a well or a nearby stream made water access convenient. Even the raised wooden floors, or maru, could be used for laying out items to dry or for the fulling process, leveraging the natural warmth and air circulation. The house itself was a partner in the laundry process, intelligently designed to support the rhythm of daily chores. You can almost see the thoughtful integration of living space and working space, a seamless flow that optimized efficiency and comfort. This architectural harmony speaks to a holistic approach to life, where every element was considered for its practical and aesthetic contribution. It's like the house was giving them a little helping hand always. This thoughtful design highlights the ingenuity of Joseon architects, creating living spaces that were not only beautiful, but also highly functional. The concept of fast fashion would have been utterly alien to Joseon Koreans. Clothing was made to last. Garments were often repaired, repurposed, and handed down through generations. A single piece of fabric might begin its life as an outer robe, then be cut down into a jacket, and eventually become a set of children's clothes or even cleaning rags. This emphasis on longevity and resourcefulness meant that laundry practices were geared towards preserving the life of the fabric. Every wash, every fulling was done with the long-term integrity of the garment in mind. It wasn't about discarding and replacing. It was about nurturing and extending. You can almost feel the respect they had for the raw materials, the threads, the dyes, knowing the effort that went into creating each piece. This stands in stark contrast to our modern throwaway culture, offering a valuable lesson in sustainability. It's like they were the ultimate eco-warriors, long before the term was invented. Historians still debate how much a typical hanbok would cost to make in terms of labor and materials. Was it equivalent to a month's wages? More. The answer would likely vary greatly by social class and the quality of the fabric. The act of laundry in Joseon, Korea was not merely a chore. It was deeply intertwined with the social fabric of the community. While individual households handled their daily washing, larger, more demanding tasks, such as cleaning large blankets or winter bedding, might become communal events. Imagine several women gathering by a stream, their combined efforts making light work of heavy, cumbersome items. The rhythmic splashing and beating would be accompanied by lively chatter, shared stories, and laughter. These gatherings were not just about efficiency. They were important social occasions, opportunities for women to connect, share news, and reinforce their bonds. You can almost hear the ripple of conversations mingling with the sound of the water, a symphony of domestic life. This communal aspect highlights the strong sense of mutual support and interdependence within Joseon society. It's a far cry from the solitary experience of a modern laundromat. Anyone seen my favorite washing stone? One might joke, as they all share the best spots in the stream. Historians still ponder how disagreements were settled during these communal washings. Who got the cleanest part of the stream? Did they have a rotation system? These seemingly minor details offer fascinating glimpses into the mechanics of social harmony. The role of children in the laundry process is also interesting to consider. While young children might not have been involved in the heavy labor, older children would likely have been tasked with simpler duties, such as fetching water, carrying lighter items, or even helping with the fulling of less delicate fabrics. This early exposure to household chores was an essential part of their upbringing, teaching them responsibility, discipline, and practical skills. It was a hands-on education in domesticity, preparing them for their future roles within the family and community. You can almost picture a young girl, perhaps no more than 10, earnestly attempting to help her mother beat a small piece of cloth, her movements mimicking her mother's, learning by observation and imitation. It wasn't just about getting the laundry done. It was about passing down traditions and practical knowledge. No, sweetie, not that hard, you'll put a hole in it. A mother might gently admonish. It was truly a family affair, even if some family members were better at it than others. The specific type of garment also influenced its laundry routine. For instance, padded winter clothing with its multiple layers of cotton or silk padding would have presented a unique challenge. Washing these items would have been infrequent, as the padding would absorb a tremendous amount of water and take an incredibly long time to dry. When they were washed, it would have been a major undertaking, likely involving multiple people and an extended drying period, possibly near an indoor heat source like the Andal underfloor heating system. Imagine the sheer weight of a wet padded winter coat, almost impossible to lift alone. This infrequency of washing for padded items meant that other methods of freshening, such as airing them out regularly, were probably more common. It highlights the practical compromises made in a world without efficient drying technology. It's like the dread of washing a huge duvet cover in a small washing machine, amplified 100-fold. They must have truly cherished a warm, dry winter coat. The spiritual or symbolic aspects of cleanliness should not be overlooked. While not as overtly ritualistic as some cultures, the act of purification through washing held a certain symbolic weight. Cleanliness was often associated with purity of mind and body, with respect for oneself and others. Preparing for important rituals, ceremonies, or interactions with elders or superiors would invariably involve ensuring one's clothing was impeccably clean. This wasn't just about appearances. It was about preparing oneself spiritually and respectfully. You can almost feel the quiet reverence in the air as someone prepared their finest clothes for an important family gathering or a visit to the ancestral shrine. It's a subtle but powerful connection between the mundane and the sacred, elevating a simple chore to something more profound. It's like going to church in your Sunday best, not just because you have to, but because it feels right. Historians still debate the extent to which these symbolic meanings influenced daily laundry practices. Was it always a conscious thought, or did it become an ingrained habit? The contrast with modern laundry technologies is stark and fascinating. Today, we simply toss our clothes into a machine, add a pre-measured amount of detergent, press a button, and walk away. The water is heated, agitated, rinsed, and spun dry, all with minimal human effort. The convenience is undeniable, but something is lost in the process. The physical connection to the fabric, the understanding of its properties, the rhythm of the work, the communal aspect. These are all absent in our highly mechanized world. Joseon-era laundry was a slow, deliberate, and labor-intensive process, but it was also deeply engaging and often social. It required skill, patience, and a profound respect for materials. You can almost hear the whirring of your own washing machine, a distant hum compared to the direct sounds of splashing water and beating mallets. This reflection offers a poignant reminder of how technology has transformed not just our tasks, but our relationship with the objects around us. It's like the difference between buying pre-made bread and baking it from scratch. Both get the job done, but one involves a much deeper connection to the process. You might even find yourself appreciating your modern conveniences a little more after this journey, or perhaps longing for the simplicity of a different era. Let's delve deeper into the types of water used. While streams and wells were primary sources, rainwater was also highly valued, particularly for its softness. Rainwater, being naturally free of the minerals found in well water, was considered ideal for washing delicate fabrics and for achieving a brighter, cleaner result without the hard water stains that could sometimes occur. Imagine large clay pots or wooden barrels placed strategically to collect rainwater, especially during the monsoon season. This collected water would be carefully stored and reserved for washing finer garments or for the final rinses. This highlights a nuanced understanding of water chemistry, even without scientific laboratories. They intuitively knew that soft water made a difference. You can almost picture the gleam in a laundress's eye as she saw a fresh downpour, knowing it meant a bountiful supply of perfect washing water. It's like the equivalent of a modern laundry enthusiast using distilled water for their delicates, but on a grander, more natural scale. Did they ever try to distill water for laundry? Probably not practical on a large scale, but who knows what ingenious experiments were conducted in quiet courtyards. The process of drying, while seemingly straightforward, also had its regional variations. In coastal areas, where sea breezes were abundant, clothes might dry more quickly, but the air might also carry more salt, potentially affecting certain fabrics. In mountainous regions, where humidity levels could vary, drying would depend heavily on elevation and local air currents. Understanding these microclimates was essential for effective drying. Imagine a woman in a coastal village carefully checking the wind direction, positioning her drying lines to catch the best breeze, while a woman in a mountain village might seek out a sunny, sheltered spot to protect clothes from sudden gusts or chill. This adaptability to local conditions showcases the practical wisdom embedded in Joseon laundry practices. It's like they had their own hyper-local weather apps in their heads, constantly calculating the optimal drying conditions. This regional wisdom further underscores the depth of knowledge held by ordinary people, passed down through generations, shaped by the environment around them. The care of specific garments beyond just fabric type also varied. For instance, the traditional Korean sock or beoseon, often made of cotton and sometimes padded, would require careful washing and shaping to retain its form. After washing, beoseon would be meticulously smoothed and sometimes stretched over a wooden form to ensure they dried with the correct shape, preventing shrinkage or distortion. Imagine the precise movements of a woman ensuring each pair of beoseon was perfectly shaped, ready for comfortable wear. This attention to detail speaks to the value placed on even the smallest items of clothing, ensuring their longevity and proper fit. It's a bit like carefully blocking a knitted garment today to maintain its integrity. They certainly didn't just throw their socks into a random pile to dry. One might even jokingly ask, is that a beoseon or a misshapen cloud? If someone hadn't shaped it properly. The concept of recycling and repurposing was integral to Joseon life, and laundry played a part in this. Even heavily worn or damaged clothing wouldn't simply be discarded. Instead, the fabric would be carefully unpicked, the usable sections salvaged, and then re-dyed or woven into new textiles. Even the smallest scraps might be used for patching, quilting, or as stuffing. This maximalist approach to resource utilization meant that every fiber was valued, and nothing went to waste. Laundry wasn't just about cleaning. It was about rejuvenating and preparing materials for their next life. You can almost see the piles of salvaged fabric, waiting to be transformed into something new, a testament to their thrifty and sustainable lifestyle. It makes our modern concept of donating old clothes seem almost wasteful in comparison. Historians still marvel at the efficiency of resource management in Joseon, Korea, and laundry was a key component of that ecosystem. It's like their version of upcycling, but born out of necessity rather than trend. The historical context of Joseon laundry also reminds us of the sheer amount of time and labor dedicated to daily survival. In a society without modern conveniences, tasks that we now complete in minutes often took hours or even days. Laundry was not just a weekly chore. It was a constant, ongoing process, often requiring significant physical exertion. This constant engagement with manual labor shaped daily routines and societal structures. It forces you to appreciate the incredible advancements that have freed up so much human time and energy. You can almost feel the ache in your muscles just thinking about a full day of Joseon-era laundry. It truly puts our complaints about folding laundry into perspective. Oh, the horror of having to press a button, we might sarcastically moan, knowing what they endured. This labor-intensive reality shaped the pace of life, the division of labor, and the very fabric of society. Finally, consider the sensory experience of Joseon laundry. Beyond the visible and auditory, there was the tactile sensation of the fabric itself, from the rough hemp to the smooth silk. There was the subtle scent of natural cleansers, wood smoke, and fresh air, a far cry from the chemical aromas of modern detergents. And there was the feeling of warm sun on the skin, the cool splash of water, the satisfying thud of the fulling mallet. It was an immersive, multi-sensory experience that connected individuals deeply to their environment and their daily tasks. You can almost feel the dampness of the freshly rinsed cloth, the smooth texture of the fulled garment, the warmth of the sun on your back as you hang clothes to dry. It's a testament to a time when life was lived more directly, with a heightened awareness of the natural world and the physical processes that sustained it. It was a symphony of simple elements coming together to create something clean and beautiful. Let's imagine the logistical challenges involved in heating water for laundry. While cool or cold water was often used for rinsing, the initial wash, particularly for heavily soiled items or during colder months, often benefited from warm water. Heating large quantities of water meant building and maintaining fires, often in outdoor stoves or kettles specifically for this purpose. This required fuel, wood, or charcoal, and considerable time and effort. Imagine the smoke curling upwards, the crackle of the fire, and the sheer physical labor of fetching fuel and tending the flames to heat enough water for a family's laundry. This was no simple turn of a tap. It was a deliberate and energy-intensive process. It makes you realize how precious a commodity hot water must have been. "Honey, did you remember to chop enough wood for the laundry?" a husband might ask, dreading the answer. Historians still debate the efficiency of these heating methods. Were there specific designs of kettles or stoves that maximized heat transfer? Or was it largely a matter of brute force and patience? The concept of color fastness was also implicitly understood, even without the modern chemical knowledge of dyes. Natural dyes derived from plants, minerals, and insects could sometimes bleed or fade, especially with vigorous washing or direct sun exposure. This meant that brightly colored garments, particularly those dyed with less stable pigments, would have been washed separately or with extreme care to prevent colors from running onto lighter fabrics. Imagine the meticulous sorting of laundry, a mental catalog of which colors could mingle and which demanded solitary treatment. This careful separation highlights a practical knowledge of dye properties, honed through generations of experience. It's like an early form of laundry segregation, but for colors instead of people. No reds with whites, ever, a laundress might emphatically declare. This awareness of color stability dictated not only washing methods, but also often influenced clothing design, with certain colors being reserved for specific garment types or social occasions. The tools for transporting water were also crucial. Large ceramic jars, often beautifully crafted, and wooden buckets were commonplace. Carrying these heavy containers, especially over distances from a well or stream, was physically demanding. Imagine the strong forearms and sturdy gait of a person regularly hauling gallons of water for household needs, including laundry. This physical exertion was a constant companion in Joseon daily life, shaping bodies and building resilience. You can almost feel the strain in your shoulders just thinking about it. It makes you realize that access to clean water was not just a convenience, but a daily physical challenge. I've gone to the well so many times today, I think I've grown gills. A weary laundress might joke to herself. This constant physical activity contributed to a generally robust population, adept at manual labor. The absence of modern sanitizers meant that other methods were used to ensure hygiene. For items requiring extra disinfection, such as bandages or clothes worn by the sick, boiling might have been employed. Submerging fabric in rapidly boiling water for an extended period would kill bacteria and viruses, a crude but effective method of sterilization. Imagine the steam rising from a large pot, the careful handling of scalding hot fabric, the air thick with humidity. This was a labor-intensive process, but essential for maintaining health in a world without antibiotics. It's like their version of a sanitizing cycle, but a lot more hands-on and dangerous. Historians still debate the commonality of boiling clothes for hygiene purposes. Was it a regular practice for certain items, or reserved for special circumstances like illness? The answers offer clues into Joseon-era public health practices. The value of clothing also meant that mending and repair were integral parts of the laundry cycle. Before washing, garments would often be inspected for tears, loose seams, or worn areas. Small repairs would be made proactively to prevent further damage during the strenuous washing and fulling processes. This meticulous attention to maintenance extended the life of each garment, maximizing its utility. Imagine a woman carefully stitching a small tier in a jeogori, a traditional Korean jacket, before it went into the wash, her nimble fingers working swiftly and efficiently. This proactive approach to repair demonstrates a deep respect for resources and a culture of frugality. It's a far cry from discarding an item just because of a missing button. A stitch in time saves 9, they might not have said, but they certainly lived by the principle. This constant cycle of mending and washing ensured that clothing remained in serviceable condition for as long as possible. The social implications of wearing specific types of clothing also influenced laundry. Certain garments, like those worn by scholars or officials, might require extra care to maintain their pristine condition, reflecting the dignity and respect associated with their roles. For instance, the voluminous robes of officials would demand meticulous fulling to ensure they hung with the correct drape and crispness, reflecting the wearer's gravitas. This meant that the laundresses responsible for such garments held a position of considerable skill and responsibility, their work directly impacting the public image of important figures. You can almost feel the pressure, knowing that a single wrinkle could reflect poorly on a high-ranking official. It's like being a personal stylist, but your tools are mallets and lie. This connection between clothing care and social standing highlights the intricate ways in which daily practices reinforced societal structures. Let's consider the seasonality of textile production and how it influenced laundry. While cotton and hemp could be grown and processed annually, silk production was often tied to the life cycle of silkworms, making it a more precious and seasonal commodity. This meant that new silk garments might be acquired at specific times of the year, potentially leading to surges in laundry for new, unwashed fabrics. Imagine the excitement and anticipation of new silk arriving, and the subsequent meticulous care required for its first wash. This connection between agricultural cycles and textile care further roots laundry practices in the rhythm of nature. It's a holistic view of life, where everything is interconnected, from the mulberry leaves eaten by the silkworms to the final crispness of a silk hanbok. You can almost hear the buzz of the silkworms, a distant hum that contributes to the elegance of the clothes. Historians still debate the specific times of year when new fabrics were most commonly acquired. Was it after the harvest, or during specific seasonal festivals? The concept of cleanliness for special occasions also provides fascinating insights. For events like weddings, ancestral rites, or official ceremonies, clothing would undergo an even more rigorous cleaning and fulling process. The goal was absolute perfection, reflecting the importance of the occasion and the respect shown to ancestors or guests. This might involve additional rinses, more meticulous fulling, and careful drying to ensure every garment was in pristine condition. Imagine the flurry of activity leading up to a major family event, with laundresses working overtime to prepare elaborate ceremonial attire, each fold and crease meticulously pressed. It's like preparing for a red carpet event, but with far more elbow grease and far less celebrity gossip. Oh, the horror if Uncle Kim's ceremonial robe isn't perfectly pressed, someone might dramatically exclaim. This heightened level of care for special garments underscores the cultural significance of appearance and tradition in Joseon society. The tools of laundry were sometimes quite specific to regions or even individual families. While wooden mallets were common for fulling, some regions might have used rounded stones, leveraging the natural environment for their tools. The type of wood used for mallets could also vary, impacting their weight and effectiveness. Imagine the subtle differences in the sound of the dadimi, depending on whether the mallets were made of oak, pine, or some other local wood. These regional variations speak to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of people adapting to their immediate surroundings, making the most of available materials. It's like a regional accent, but for laundry sounds. This localized adaptation showcases a diverse range of practical solutions within a shared cultural framework. Historians still search for records of distinct regional laundry techniques, hoping to unearth lost traditions. The economics of laundry were also significant. For ordinary households, the resources used, water, fuel for heating, and natural cleansers, represented tangible costs in terms of labor and raw materials. For wealthier households, employing laundresses was a significant expense, a testament to the value placed on clean clothing and the labor required to achieve it. This economic dimension underscores that laundry, far from being a trivial chore, was an integral part of the household economy. It required careful management of resources and labor, reflecting the overall financial health of a family. You can almost hear the subtle calculations happening in the minds of household heads, weighing the cost of fuel against the necessity of clean clothes. It's like managing a small business, but your product is perfectly laundered garments. Are we going to splurge on extra soap berries this month, dear? A wife might ask her husband. The historical accounts of travelers to Joseon, Korea, often mention the cleanliness and neatness of Korean clothing, even among commoners. This external observation supports the idea that meticulous laundry practices were a widespread cultural norm, not just confined to the elite. Foreign visitors were often struck by the crispness of the white hanbok, a testament to the effectiveness of Joseon-era laundry techniques. Imagine a European traveler accustomed to heavier, often muddier garments, observing the bright, clean attire of Koreans and marveling at their dedication to cleanliness. This external validation provides compelling evidence of the success of their methods. It's like getting a 5-star review for your laundry skills, but from a bewildered foreigner. This widespread cleanliness was a point of national pride, reflecting well on the entire society. Finally, consider the legacy of these ancient laundry techniques. While modern technology has largely supplanted them, elements of Joseon laundry practices, particularly the emphasis on careful handling of fabrics and natural methods, resonate with contemporary trends towards sustainable and eco-friendly living. The knowledge of natural cleansers, the value placed on longevity, and the communal aspects of work offer valuable lessons for our own time. You can almost feel the continuity, a thread connecting past practices to present concerns, reminding us that sometimes the old ways offer new insights. It's like a historical whisper reminding us to slow down, be more deliberate, and appreciate the simple things. This enduring legacy ensures that Joseon laundry is not just a relic of the past, but a source of inspiration for the future. Let's think about the specific challenges of laundry for those traveling or away from home. Soldiers on campaign, merchants on long journeys, or scholars visiting distant relatives would have faced significant hurdles in maintaining clean clothes. They wouldn't have access to their usual communal washing areas, steady water sources, or the full array of tools. This would have meant relying on simpler, more portable methods, perhaps minimal washing with cold water, or simply airing out garments to reduce odors. Imagine a weary soldier attempting to clean his tunic with only a small basin of water and a rough cloth, far from the comforts of home. This highlights the adaptability required, forcing individuals to become resourceful in difficult circumstances. It's like trying to do your laundry in a hotel sink after spilling coffee all over your only clean shirt. Is that just dirt, or did I actually pick up a new pattern? A soldier might humorously wonder. This nomadic aspect of laundry reveals a different facet of Joseon life and its practical constraints. The distinction between everyday laundry and ritualistic cleansing is also important. While daily washing was about practical hygiene and social presentation, certain items or individuals might undergo a more symbolic purification. For example, before engaging in religious rites or preparing for significant ancestral ceremonies, Clothing might be specially washed and dried with a heightened sense of reverence, sometimes involving specific herbs or a particularly pure water source. This wasn't just about removing dirt. It was about spiritual preparedness and demonstrating utmost respect. You can almost feel the solemnity in the air as garments are prepared for sacred purposes, a quiet dedication to tradition. This blend of the practical and the spiritual infused many aspects of Joseon life, and laundry was no exception. It's like dry cleaning your best suit before a very important job interview, but with an added layer of spiritual significance. Historians still debate the specific herbs or rituals involved in these purifications, as much of this knowledge was likely passed down orally. The development of new textile technologies, even rudimentary ones, would have impacted laundry practices. For instance, the introduction of finer weaving techniques or new dye processes might have necessitated adjustments in washing methods to preserve the integrity of the more delicate or vibrant fabrics. The constant evolution of textile craftsmanship meant that laundresses had to remain adaptable and learn new techniques to care for ever-changing garments. Imagine the excitement and challenge of encountering a new type of fabric for the first time, requiring experimentation and careful observation to determine the best cleaning approach. It's like getting a new gadget that requires a whole new set of instructions, but without the internet to look up tutorials. Is this a new kind of silk? It feels different, a curious laundress might ponder. This continuous learning curve underscores the dynamism of Joseon-era domestic skills. The sounds of laundry were not just the thud-thud-thud of the fulling mallets. There was also the splashing of water, the gentle rustle of drying fabrics in the breeze, the creak of well ropes, and the murmurs of conversation. Taken together, these sounds formed a distinctive auditory landscape of Joseon life. Imagine closing your eyes and just listening to the daily symphony of laundry, a comforting and rhythmic backdrop to the hustle and bustle of the village. It paints a rich sensory picture, transporting you to a different time and place. It's like an ancient ASMR soundtrack, specifically designed for domestic tranquility. You can almost hear the soft, rhythmic sounds, a gentle lullaby of cleanliness. This auditory landscape was an integral part of the experience, deeply embedded in the collective memory of the time. The communal aspect of laundry also created opportunities for intergenerational teaching. Older women, with years of experience and accumulated wisdom, would guide younger women and girls, teaching them the nuances of stain removal, the proper technique for fulling different fabrics, and the importance of meticulous rinsing. This hands-on apprenticeship ensured that valuable knowledge and skills were preserved and transmitted from one generation to the next, maintaining a high standard of domestic craftsmanship. Imagine a grandmother patiently guiding her granddaughter's hands as she learned to beat a cloth with a bang-mang-ai, imparting not just technique, but also stories and laughter. It's like a living textbook, passed from person to person. "This is how your grandmother taught me," she might say, a chain of knowledge stretching back through time. The impact of laundry on the environment, though not conceived in modern terms, was also present. The use of natural cleansers meant less chemical pollution compared to industrial detergents, but the constant drawing of water from wells or diverting from streams would have had localized ecological effects. The disposal of wash water, potentially containing organic matter and natural lye, would have naturally reintegrated into the environment. This symbiotic relationship with nature, where waste was often reabsorbed rather than accumulating, offers a stark contrast to today's environmental challenges. It's a reminder that even seemingly small daily activities can have a broader ecological footprint. They were, in their own way, remarkably sustainable, often without consciously trying to be. The stream thanks you for your efforts, a nature-loving Joseon person might muse. Let's consider the concept of starch in Joseon-era laundry. While not used in the exact same way as modern spray starch, similar principles were applied to give fabrics a crisp finish. Rice water, mentioned earlier for its mild cleansing properties, could also be used in heavier concentrations as a natural stiffener. After washing and rinsing, garments might be briefly soaked in a more concentrated rice water solution before drying, particularly for ceremonial robes or garments where a formal, crisp drape was desired. This helped maintain the garment's shape and provided a neat, polished appearance. Imagine the careful dipping of a collar or a sleeve into a milky rice solution, ensuring an even coating. This natural stiffening agent provided structure without the harshness of chemical starches, aligning with their use of organic materials. It's like their secret weapon for sartorial perfection, their equivalent of a tailor's crisp finish. Is that fabric dancing, or is it just perfectly starched? One might jest. This subtle technique reveals another layer of refinement in their laundry practices. The use of specific drying frames or stretching devices for certain garments is also noteworthy. For items that needed to maintain a precise shape, like intricate collars or specific types of hats, specialized wooden frames might have been used during the drying process. These frames would gently stretch and hold the fabric in its desired form as it dried, preventing shrinkage or distortion. Imagine a delicate silk headpiece being carefully placed onto a custom-made wooden frame, ensuring it retains its elegant contours. This level of meticulousness highlights the craftsmanship not only in making the clothes, but also in caring for them. It's like giving your clothes a tiny, personalized scaffolding to dry on. Historians still search for examples of these specialized drying tools, as they provide tangible evidence of advanced textile care. The impact of weather on the laundry schedule was profound. A sudden rain shower could ruin a day's worth of drying, forcing laundresses to quickly gather clothes indoors or find sheltered spots. Conversely, a long spell of cloudy, humid weather could significantly extend drying times, potentially leading to mildew or stale odors if not managed carefully. This constant negotiation with the elements meant that flexibility and foresight were essential. Imagine the anxious glances at the sky, the hurried movements to bring in drying clothes before an unexpected downpour. It was a constant dance with nature, a reminder that human activity was always at the mercy of environmental conditions. Rain again. Looks like we're wearing damp clothes to the market, a frustrated laundress might sigh. This vulnerability to weather patterns shaped the daily rhythm of life. The concept of freshening clothes without a full wash was also common. For garments that weren't visibly dirty but needed to be aired out or have minor odors removed, they might be hung outdoors on sunny, breezy days. The sun's rays provided a natural deodorizing effect, while the circulating air helped dissipate stale smells. For items that couldn't be washed often, like padded winter wear, this airing out was a crucial part of their maintenance. Imagine a winter coat, heavy with layers, carefully hung on a sturdy branch, gently swaying in the breeze, absorbing the freshness of the outdoors. This simple yet effective practice shows a pragmatic approach to cleanliness, recognizing that not every item required a full wash. It's like their version of a delicate refresh cycle, but without any electricity. This method was particularly valuable for items that were difficult to wash due to their bulk or delicate nature. The division of labor within the household often meant that laundry was primarily the domain of women, but not exclusively. Men might assist with heavy lifting, such as carrying large quantities of water or transporting heavy bundles of wet laundry. In some aristocratic households, male servants might also be involved in certain aspects of laundry, particularly for men's garments or specialized ceremonial wear. This nuanced division of labor reflects the pragmatic realities of household management, where tasks were distributed based on strength, skill, and social role. It's a subtle dance of shared responsibilities, even if the primary burden fell on one gender. "Honey, can you grab that last bucket? My arms are falling off," a wife might playfully ask. Historians still analyze census records and household manuals to understand the precise division of labor in Joseon families. The storytelling potential embedded in laundry is immense. Each stain might have a story: a child's playful mishap, a spill during a festive meal, a smudge from working in the fields. Each repair might represent a cherished garment, painstakingly kept alive through years of wear. The entire process of laundry was a silent narrative of daily life, a chronicle of events, big and small, etched onto the very fibers of clothing. Imagine looking at a patched sleeve and knowing the story of the tear it once had, or a faded spot on a handbag that bore witness to a particularly sunny picnic. It elevates laundry from a mere chore to a living history, a tangible record of moments past. It's like the clothes themselves were silent observers, holding memories within their threads. This deep connection to the history of a garment is something often lost in our disposable modern world. Let's explore the concept of specialized laundry for different social classes. While we've touched upon the general practices, the nuanced differences based on status were significant. For the sangmen, or commoners, laundry was a functional necessity, often performed communally at rivers or wells, with efficiency and durability being key priorities. Their clothes, often made of rougher hemp or cotton, were robust and designed to withstand vigorous scrubbing and fulling. The emphasis was on cleanliness and practical longevity. You can almost see the vibrant, bustling scene at a communal washing spot, a kaleidoscope of working hands and lively chatter. In contrast, for the Yongbin, the aristocratic elite, laundry was less about personal labor and more about meticulous preservation of valuable garments. Their silks and fine cottons, often intricately embroidered, required specialized care. Laundresses in Yongbin households were highly skilled, almost like conservators, ensuring the delicate dyes and weaves were protected. The bangmangai might be applied more gently, or skilled hands might replace the mallet entirely for the most precious items. This distinction highlights not just economic differences, but also a difference in the purpose of laundry, practical utility versus preservation of status and luxury. It's like comparing washing a pair of work jeans to dry cleaning a haute couture gown. Did the Yongbin laundresses ever secretly complain about how delicate the clothes were? Probably, but they'd never show it. The preparation of natural cleansers itself was a time-consuming process. The collection of ash from specific hardwoods, the careful leaching to extract lye, or the gathering and drying of soap berries. These were all initial steps that required foresight and labor before the actual washing could even begin. Imagine the methodical gathering of wood after a meal, setting aside the ash for future laundry days, or the annual harvest of soap berries. This foresight in resource management ensured a steady supply of necessary cleaning agents, a quiet testament to their self-sufficiency. It's like having to grow all the ingredients for your detergent before you can even wash your clothes. This intricate preparation highlights the integrated nature of household tasks, where one chore seamlessly flowed into another. The importance of water quality beyond just softness or hardness cannot be overstated. Joseon Koreans understood the importance of clean water for both consumption and washing. Areas with access to clear, flowing streams or deep, pure wells were highly valued, not just for drinking but also for laundry, as dirty water could leave residue on CL. Oz. Imagine the satisfaction of drawing cool, pristine water from a well known for its clarity, knowing it would contribute to truly clean garments. This awareness of water source quality speaks to a profound connection to their environment and its resources. It's like they had their own natural water purification systems built into their communities. Historians still explore the patterns of settlement in Joseon Korea, often noting the proximity of communities to reliable water sources, underscoring their critical importance. The concept of airing out clothing had a secondary benefit: pest control. Regular exposure to sunlight and air could help deter insects like moths, which could damage natural fibers. While not a primary laundry method, this periodic airing contributed to the overall longevity and hygiene of garments, especially those stored for longer periods. Imagine the satisfaction of seeing a freshly aired garment, not just clean, but also free from the unwelcome presence of tiny critters. It's a pragmatic solution born out of necessity, a natural defense against the unseen enemies of fabric. That'll show those pesky moths, a meticulous housekeeper might declare. This holistic approach to garment care encompassed far more than just washing. The psychological impact of clean clothing was likely significant. In a world where luxury was scarce and daily life often challenging, the simple comfort of clean, crisp clothing would have provided a small but meaningful sense of well-being and dignity. Imagine slipping into a freshly laundered hanbok after a long day of labor, feeling the clean fabric against your skin, a moment of simple pleasure and self-respect. This psychological uplift reinforces the idea that laundry was not just a chore, but an essential aspect of maintaining personal morale and societal order. It's like the feeling you get from wearing brand new socks, but extended to your entire wardrobe. This subtle yet powerful effect speaks to the enduring human need for comfort and cleanliness. The artistry involved in the fulling process, particularly Daddy Me, was not merely about achieving cleanliness or crispness. It was about creating a specific aesthetic. The rhythmic beating compacted the fibers in a way that gave the fabric a unique sheen and drape that was highly prized. It was a visual and tactile quality that distinguished well-cared-for garments. Imagine holding a piece of fulled cotton and feeling its smooth, almost polished surface, seeing the subtle luster that the beating had imparted. This transformation of raw fabric into a refined textile was a testament to the skill and dedication of the laundress, elevating her work to a form of artistry. It's like turning a rough stone into a polished jewel, but with fabric. Historians still analyze the microstructures of historical Korean textiles to understand the precise effects of these traditional fulling techniques. Let's imagine the soundscape of Joseon-era laundry, not just the rhythmic thud of the bangmangai, but the subtle nuances. You'd hear the soft splash of water as clothes were agitated in the wooden tubs, the gentle gurgle of a stream as rinse water flowed away, the rustle of clothes drying in the breeze, perhaps even the distant creak of a well pulley. These sounds, combined with the occasional murmur of conversation or a child's laughter, would create a soothing, almost meditative backdrop to daily life. It's a sensory tapestry woven from the mundane, transforming a chore into a symphony of domesticity. You can almost close your eyes and hear it now, a gentle, rhythmic hum that grounds you in the past. It's like an ancient sound machine, perpetually set to laundry day. This constant auditory presence served as a reminder of the ongoing cycles of work and care within the community. The selection of appropriate locations for laundry was critical. Beyond just proximity to water, factors like sunlight exposure, air circulation, and even privacy might have been considered. A sunny, open courtyard was ideal for drying, while a more sheltered spot might be chosen for delicate silks or for washing during inclement weather. For communal washing, a part of the stream with a gentle current and smooth, flat rocks would be preferred. Imagine the informal mapping in every villager's mind of the best laundry spots, passed down through generations. This intuitive understanding of environmental factors demonstrates a deep connection to their surroundings and how to best utilize them. It's like they had a Yelp for laundry spots, but it was all word of mouth and lived experience. Historians still try to identify archaeological evidence of specific laundry sites, looking for wear patterns on rocks or remnants of washing structures. The maintenance of laundry tools was also a continuous task. Wooden tubs needed to be kept clean and free of mildew. Bangmangai needed to be occasionally smoothed or refinished to prevent splinters and ensure even striking. Ropes and drying poles needed to be checked for wear and tear. This ongoing care for their tools ensured their longevity and effectiveness, reflecting a pragmatic approach to resource management. Imagine a craftsman carefully sanding down a bangmangai to restore its smooth surface, a quiet dedication to the implements of daily life. It's a reminder that even the simplest tools require attention and respect to continue serving their purpose. A dull mallet makes for a dull outcome, they might sagely say. This constant upkeep was a part of the broader commitment to meticulousness. The influence of laundry on Korean aesthetics is subtle but profound. The crispness of white hanbok, achieved through meticulous washing and fulling, became a quintessential element of Joseon fashion. The smooth, almost lustrous finish on cotton and hemp created a refined simplicity that was highly valued. This aesthetic wasn't just about the design of the garments. It was deeply intertwined with the care taken in their cleaning and finishing. Imagine the distinct visual quality of a freshly laundered and fulled hanbok, its sharp lines, its pristine white, its subtle sheen. It's a testament to the idea that true elegance lies not just in what you wear, but in how you wear it and how it's cared for. It's like the secret ingredient in a recipe that elevates a dish from good to extraordinary. This symbiotic relationship between laundry techniques and sartorial ideals shaped the visual identity of Joseon Korea. The concept of seasonal cleaning was also a significant event. Beyond daily washing, certain times of the year, particularly before major holidays or changes in season, would trigger a more comprehensive cleaning of all textiles in the household. This might involve washing items that were rarely laundered, like heavy blankets or storage cloths, and thorough airing out of all stored garments. Imagine the collective effort involved in these large-scale cleaning days, a coordinated flurry of activity to refresh the entire household textile inventory. It's like their version of spring cleaning, but amplified to include everything wearable or textile-based. Better get started on those winter blankets now, dear. The chilly winds are coming, a wife might remind her husband. This cyclical approach to deep cleaning ensured that all textiles were maintained and ready for their specific seasonal uses. The historical study of laundry techniques relies on various sources: archaeological finds of tools, historical paintings depicting daily life, written accounts in diaries or household manuals, and even oral traditions passed down through generations. Piecing together this information allows historians to reconstruct the intricate details of Joseon laundry. Imagine the detective work involved, examining faded brushstrokes in a painting for clues about washing methods, or deciphering ancient texts for recipes for natural cleansers. It's a fascinating blend of historical disciplines, all converging to illuminate a seemingly mundane but incredibly informative aspect of daily life. It's like a historical jigsaw puzzle, and every tiny piece contributes to the bigger picture. This multifaceted approach allows for a rich and detailed understanding of the past. Let's think about the practicalities of dealing with different types of dirt and stains. Everyday grime from sweat, dust, and food spills was common, requiring regular washing. However, specialized tasks, such as cleaning clothes worn by someone working with animals or in agricultural fields, would have involved heavier soil and possibly more persistent odors. These items might undergo a pre-soak, perhaps in a stronger lye solution or with a longer immersion time, to loosen the ingrained dirt before the main wash. Imagine the visual distinction between the lightly soiled garments of someone in a scholarly role versus the heavily stained attire of a farmer returning from the fields, each requiring a tailored approach. This practical adaptation to varying levels of dirt underscores the pragmatic and efficient nature of Joseon laundry. It's like having different wash cycles for different levels of grime, but you're the one manually adjusting the settings. This mud is going to need an extra soak, a laundress might sigh, examining a particularly stubborn patch. The role of sunlight in laundry was not just for drying. It also served as a natural bleaching agent. For white cotton or hemp garments, prolonged exposure to direct sunlight during drying could help whiten them, naturally breaking down stains and yellowing. This was particularly effective during the bright, sunny days of summer. Imagine rows of brilliant white fabrics laid out on clean mats or strung on lines, gleaming under the Joseon sun, a testament to nature's powerful cleansing properties. This natural bleaching method was a cornerstone of maintaining the pristine whiteness so characteristic of many Joseon garments. It's like they had an invisible, solar-powered stain remover always at their disposal. Historians still analyze the chemical effects of sun bleaching on natural fibers, marveling at its effectiveness without modern chemicals. The concept of wardrobe rotation would have been very different. With fewer garments per person compared to modern times, each item was worn more frequently and therefore required more frequent washing. This meant that laundry was a continuous cycle rather than an occasional event. A household would likely always have clothes in some stage of the laundry process, soaking, washing, drying, or being fulled. Imagine a never-ending flow of fabric moving through the stages of cleanliness, a constant hum of activity that underscored the daily rhythm of life. It's a stark contrast to our overflowing closets and often neglected laundry baskets. Is it laundry day yet? Oh wait, it's always laundry day, a Joseon person might jokingly lament. This continuous demand for laundry highlights the fundamental role of clothing in daily existence. The use of natural fibers for clothing also meant different care considerations. Wool, though less common than cotton or hemp in everyday wear, would have required very gentle washing to prevent shrinking or felting. Silk, as mentioned, demanded extreme care to preserve its delicate structure and sheen. The absence of synthetic fibers meant that laundresses were intimately familiar with the properties of natural materials and tailored their methods accordingly. Imagine the gentle handling of a wool outer garment, carefully squeezed rather than wrung, knowing that vigorous agitation would ruin its texture. This deep material knowledge was a critical skill, passed down through generations of hands-on experience. It's like being a master tailor, but your specialty is fabric care, not cutting. Historians still study the specific properties of different natural fibers used in Joseon textiles to better understand their care requirements. The significance of personal appearance in Joseon society meant that even slight imperfections in clothing might be noticed and commented upon. A stain that wasn't fully removed, a wrinkle that lingered, or a fabric that lacked its proper crispness could subtly reflect on the wearer's status or diligence. This societal pressure created a strong incentive for meticulous laundry practices, pushing laundresses to strive for perfection. Imagine the quiet scrutiny, the discerning eyes of neighbors or elders, subtly evaluating the cleanliness and presentation of your garments. It's like constantly being judged by a fashion critic, but the critique is unspoken and based purely on how clean your clothes are. This subtle social pressure fostered a culture of meticulousness and attention to detail in all aspects of life, including laundry. Finally, consider the legacy of traditional Korean laundry techniques. While largely replaced by modern machines, the underlying principles of careful fabric care, the use of natural ingredients, and the appreciation for well-maintained clothing continue to influence aspects of Korean culture today. The meticulousness seen in traditional craft forms, from pottery to embroidery, echoes the same dedication to detail found in ancient laundry practices. You can almost see the thread of continuity, connecting past practices to present aesthetics and values. It's a reminder that even the most mundane aspects of daily life can carry profound cultural significance and contribute to a rich historical tapestry. This enduring legacy ensures that the gentle thud of the bangmangai still resonates in the quiet corners of Korean tradition. Let's delve into the process of removing residual moisture after washing and before fulling. This was crucial to reduce drying time and prepare the fabric for the dadimi process. While spin cycles were non-existent, Joseon laundresses employed effective manual methods. For smaller items, careful wringing by hand was common, gently twisting the fabric to expel water without damaging the fibers. For larger, heavier items, the fabric might be folded, rolled, and then pressed or even stepped on to squeeze out excess water. Imagine the focused effort, the strong hands working the water out of a heavy cotton blanket, preparing it for the sun. This manual dewatering was a critical step, demonstrating a practical understanding of how to expedite the drying process. It's like their version of a spin dryer, powered purely by human muscle and ingenuity. Just a little more squeeze, they might mutter, determined to get every last drop. This laborious but effective step was essential for efficient laundry. The storage of clothing also had an impact on laundry frequency and methods. Garments not in active use would be carefully folded and stored in chests or on shelves, often interspersed with dried herbs or natural desiccants to prevent dampness, mildew, and insect damage. Proper storage meant clothes stayed cleaner for longer, reducing the need for frequent washing of seldom-worn items. Imagine the faint, pleasant aroma of dried herbs as you opened a storage chest, a testament to the careful preservation of garments. This attention to storage extended the life of clothing and maintained its freshness between washes. It's like having a climate-controlled wardrobe, but using natural, traditional methods. Historians still examine traditional storage methods to understand how textiles were preserved over long periods, offering clues about environmental control in Joseon homes. The use of natural dyes also presented unique laundry challenges. Many traditional Korean dyes derived from indigo, madder, and various barks were not always perfectly color-fast, especially when first applied. This meant that newly dyed garments would likely be washed separately and gently, perhaps with cold water, to minimize color bleed. Over time, as the dye set, the garments could be washed more vigorously. Imagine the careful testing of a new indigo-dyed fabric, a small corner gently rubbed with a damp cloth to check for color transfer, a cautious approach to preserving its vibrant hue. This understanding of dye stability influenced washing strategies. It's like being a color chemist, but your laboratory is a wooden tub and your tools are your hands. Don't mix this with anything light for a few washes, a dyer might warn. The aesthetic preference for pristine white clothing in Joseon, Korea, is a fascinating cultural detail. While colorful garments were worn, particularly by the wealthy or for special occasions, white was the prevalent color for everyday wear, symbolizing purity, simplicity, and a connection to nature. This widespread preference for white naturally placed a higher demand on meticulous laundry practices to maintain its cleanliness and brightness. Imagine a village scene dominated by the crisp white hanbok of its inhabitants, a collective statement of cleanliness and aesthetic preference. This strong cultural preference for white drove the constant pursuit of effective whitening techniques. It's like living in a perpetual white party, and everyone is trying to keep their outfits immaculate. This aesthetic choice had a profound impact on the daily realities of laundry. The role of sun bleaching as a primary method for whitening white fabrics cannot be overemphasized. Unlike chemical bleaches that could damage fibers, sunlight offered a gentle yet effective way to remove yellowing and stains from white cotton and hemp. This process would often be repeated over several sunny days for stubborn stains, a testament to patience and reliance on natural forces. Imagine the sight of bright white cloths laid out under the intense summer sun, slowly transforming from off-white to brilliant snow. It's a natural, energy-efficient bleaching system, available to everyone. It's like a free, ever-present dry cleaner for your whites. Historians still study the specific wavelengths of sunlight that contribute most effectively to this natural bleaching process. Finally, the communal aspect of laundry fostered a strong sense of solidarity among women. Sharing the physical labor, exchanging stories, and offering advice created a bond that transcended mere chore completion. These moments by the stream or the communal wash basin were opportunities for social cohesion, for women to support each other and build networks. Imagine the shared laughter, the sympathetic nods, the quiet comfort of collective effort. It was a tangible expression of community, where burdens were shared and connections reinforced. It's like a built-in support group, formed around the simple act of getting clothes clean. This often overlooked social dimension is a beautiful reminder of the power of shared human experience. Let's consider the challenges of laundry during periods of scarcity or natural disaster. Droughts would mean limited water sources, forcing households to conserve water and wash less frequently, or travel greater distances to find water. Floods, while providing abundant water, could also make traditional washing spots unusable due to strong currents or contamination. During times of war or famine, the very act of acquiring water and fuel for laundry would have become a significant challenge, pushing cleanliness to a lower priority than survival. Imagine the desperate measures taken during a severe drought, perhaps rationing precious water for drinking and cooking, with laundry becoming a luxury. This harsh reality underscores the resilience required to maintain any semblance of normalcy in the face of adversity. It's like trying to do laundry during a zombie apocalypse, not exactly top of your to-do list. Historians still examine periods of ecological stress in Joseon, Korea, to understand their impact on daily life and household practices, including laundry. The artistry of traditional Korean textiles, particularly the intricate patterns and delicate embroideries, also influenced laundry methods. These ornate details, often found on ceremonial robes or high-status garments, required extreme care during washing to prevent damage. Scrubbing or aggressive fulling could fray threads, distort patterns, or cause delicate embellishments to detach. This meant that such items would be hand-washed with the utmost gentleness, perhaps even avoiding direct contact with water for certain embellished areas, relying instead on spot cleaning or airing. Imagine the painstaking precision of cleaning a silk robe adorned with gold thread embroidery, each movement carefully considered to preserve its exquisite beauty. It's like cleaning a priceless antique, where one wrong move could be catastrophic. This level of specialized care highlights the value placed on craftsmanship and aesthetic detail. The concept of drying clothes indoors in Joseon homes, especially during cold or wet weather, was also adapted. While not as efficient as outdoor drying, garments might be hung in rooms with ondal underfloor heating or near braziers to accelerate drying. This created a humid environment, but it was often a necessary compromise to ensure clothes were dry. Imagine the faint smell of damp fabric mingled with the earthy scent of wood smoke, a characteristic aroma of Joseon interiors during winter. This resourceful adaptation ensured continuity of laundry practices even in challenging climates. It's like trying to dry clothes on radiators, but with a much more integrated heating system. Historians still study the thermal properties of ondal systems and their incidental role in domestic drying. The social rules around laundry were often unspoken but deeply understood. For instance, common areas for washing might have specific times of day when they were busiest, or informal rules about sharing space and resources. There might have been an expectation for women of similar social standing to wash together, fostering bonds, while those of different statuses might maintain a polite distance. Imagine the subtle social cues and unspoken agreements that governed interactions at a communal wash site, ensuring harmonious coexistence. This intricate web of social etiquette highlights the importance of respect and order in Joseon society, even in mundane activities. It's like navigating the unspoken rules of a shared kitchen in a communal living situation, but on a larger, more historically significant scale. The tools used for laundry, while simple, were often reflections of local resources. In areas abundant with specific types of wood, mallets might be crafted from that timber. If flat stones were readily available near a stream, they might serve as natural washboards. This regional specificity of tools created a diverse array of laundry implements across the Korean peninsula. Imagine the slight variations in the design of a bangmangai from a northern village compared to one from the south, each optimized for local materials and preferences. This localized craftsmanship meant that laundry tools were not generic, but intimately connected to their specific geographic context. It's like different regional dialects, but for washing implements. Historians still categorize and map the regional variations of traditional tools to understand patterns of resource use and local ingenuity. Finally, consider the element of repetitive labor in Joseon laundry. The constant cycle of washing, rinsing, and fulling was physically demanding and often monotonous. Yet within this repetition, there was also a meditative quality. The rhythmic movements, the focus on the task at hand, could lead to a sense of flow and quiet contemplation. Imagine the laundress, her movements practiced and fluid, finding a quiet rhythm in the steady work, a peaceful engagement with the task. This often overlooked psychological aspect of repetitive labor provides insight into the inner lives of people in the past, finding meaning and even calm in their daily chores. It's like a mindfulness practice, but you're also getting your clothes sparkling clean. This deeper dimension transforms the perceived drudgery into something more profound. Let's imagine the logistical challenges of transporting and storing water for laundry. Even if a well was nearby, fetching numerous buckets of water for a large family's wash load was a significant physical chore. Then, this water needed to be stored in large clay jars or wooden vessels until ready for use, requiring sturdy containers and designated space. Imagine the careful balancing of heavy water buckets, the deliberate pouring into a large storage jar, a constant physical engagement with the most fundamental resource. This daily effort underscores the value of water in Joseon society and the labor involved in its acquisition and management. It's like constantly refilling a swimming pool with a watering can. Is it my turn to fetch water again already? A weary family member might grumble. This foundational challenge shaped much of the daily routine. The concept of perfuming clothes beyond just airing them out might have involved natural ingredients. While not strong, artificial perfumes, some households might have placed dried aromatic plants or flowers, like lavender or mugwort, among clean, dry clothes in storage chests. This imparted a subtle, pleasant scent, acting as a natural deodorizer and fragrance. Imagine opening a chest of freshly laundered and stored garments and being greeted by a faint, earthy aroma, a gentle reminder of nature's bounty. This simple practice added a touch of refinement to everyday clothing. It's like a subtle, all-natural dryer sheet, but for your wardrobe. Historians still look for evidence of such practices in historical texts or archaeological finds, often finding subtle clues in preserved textiles or botanical remains. The multifunctional nature of some laundry tools is also interesting. A large, flat stone used for fulling might also serve as a surface for preparing food or even as a sitting area when not in use for laundry. Wooden tubs, when empty, could be used for other household chores. This versatility highlights the efficiency and resourcefulness of Joseon households, where tools served multiple purposes, minimizing clutter and maximizing utility. Imagine a smooth, water-worn stone, bearing the subtle marks of countless hours of fulling, now repurposed as a makeshift outdoor table for a quiet meal. It's like every item had multiple lives, transforming its purpose as needed. This adaptability reflects a practical and minimalist approach to material possessions. The influence of Confucian ideals on laundry practices can be subtly observed. The emphasis on order, diligence, and respect for elders and one's place in society would have translated into meticulous care for clothing. As a reflection of these virtues, Cleanliness and neatness were outward manifestations of inner discipline and filial piety. Imagine the quiet pride in presenting a perfectly laundered garment to an elder, a silent demonstration of respect and care. This deeper philosophical underpinning elevates laundry from a mere chore to an act imbued with cultural significance. It's like a silent sermon preached through the crispness of a collar. Historians still analyze how broadly Confucian principles permeated daily life, and household chores like laundry offer a tangible lens for this study. The seasonal cycle of clothing in Joseon, Korea naturally influenced laundry. Heavier, padded winter clothing would be stored away during warmer months, while lighter cotton and hemp garments would be brought out. This rotation meant periodic deep cleaning and airing for seasonal transitions. Imagine the annual ritual of packing away winter wear, meticulously cleaned and stored, then eagerly anticipating the bringing out of light summer clothes after their long rest, perhaps given a final freshening wash. This cyclical nature of the wardrobe meant that laundry activities varied significantly throughout the year, marking the changing seasons with their own rhythm. It's like a grand annual closet swap, but with a lot more scrubbing and beating involved. This continuous adaptation to the seasons demonstrates a deep connection to natural rhythms. Finally, the resilience of the human spirit is evident in the Joseon-era approach to laundry. Despite the physical demands, the lack of modern conveniences, and the constant negotiation with natural elements, people maintained a high standard of cleanliness and care for their clothing. This speaks to an enduring human desire for order, beauty, and well-being, even in the face of considerable challenges. You can almost feel the quiet determination, the strength of character required to perform these demanding tasks day after day, year after year. It's a powerful reminder that human ingenuity and perseverance can transform even the most arduous tasks into something manageable and even meaningful. It makes you realize that our daily struggles with modern technology are perhaps just a different kind of challenge, but the underlying human spirit remains the same. Let's consider the impact of different levels of water hardness on Joseon laundry. Depending on the mineral content of local wells or streams, water could range from very soft to quite hard. Hard water, rich in calcium and magnesium, would have made it more difficult for natural cleansers like lye or soap berries to lather and remove dirt effectively, potentially leaving mineral residues on fabric. Soft water, on the other hand, would have facilitated more efficient cleaning and rinsing. Imagine the frustration of a laundress in a hard water area, having to use more cleanser and exert more effort to achieve the same level of cleanliness as her counterpart in a soft water region. This practical reality would have shaped local washing techniques and the quantity, ease of natural cleansers used. It's like having to wrestle with stubborn soap scum, but on your clothes. Historians still analyze geological data to map water hardness across historical Korean regions, offering insights into localized laundry practices. The development of specific storage methods for clean, dry clothes also plays a role. Once laundered and fulled, garments were meticulously folded and stacked, often in specialized chests or on hangers crafted from wood or bamboo. This careful storage prevented re-soiling, minimized wrinkles, and kept clothes organized. Imagine the neatly arranged stacks of crisp hanbok, each fold precise, ready for wear, a testament to the effort put into its care. This organized storage system was essential for maintaining the integrity and cleanliness of garments after the arduous laundry process. It's like a perfectly curated closet, but every item has a backstory of sweat and dedication. This attention to post-laundry care ensured the longevity of their efforts. The influence of Joseon painting and art provides visual documentation of laundry. Many genre paintings depicting daily life offer glimpses into washing scenes, showing women by streams, the tools they used, and the types of clothes being laundered. These visual records provide invaluable insights into the postures, techniques, and communal aspects of laundry, complementing written accounts. Imagine studying a detailed Joseon painting, noticing the angle of a woman's arm as she beats a garment, or the specific design of a washing tub, piecing together the visual evidence of their methods. It's like a historical documentary, but rendered in brushstrokes. Historians and art historians collaborate to interpret these visual clues, bringing the past to life through art. The concept of refreshing clothes for repeated wear without a full wash was particularly important for bulky items. Outer robes, often worn over multiple layers, might not be washed after every wear if they weren't visibly soiled. Instead, they would be carefully brushed to remove dust, aired out to dissipate odors, and perhaps spot cleaned for minor marks. This selective cleaning optimized labor and water resources, ensuring that the most effort was directed where it was most needed. Imagine a scholar's robe, carefully brushed and aired after a day of lessons, ready for wear again, its life prolonged by meticulous care rather than constant washing. It's like a daily dry cleaner service, but you're the one doing the delicate work. This pragmatic approach extended the intervals between full washes. The communal nature of water sources, such as village wells or shared sections of streams, often led to unspoken rules of etiquette and consideration. Downstream users relied on upstream users to be mindful of cleanliness, and shared resources meant a collective responsibility for their purity. Imagine the quiet understanding and mutual respect among villagers as they shared the vital resource of water, ensuring its cleanliness for all purposes, including laundry. This collective stewardship highlights a strong sense of community and interdependence, where individual actions had broader implications for the well-being of the whole. It's like a shared resource contract, but enforced by community norms rather than legal documents. This unspoken agreement was crucial for sustainable living. Finally, consider the idea of slow fashion as an inherent aspect of Joseon laundry. Because clothes were handmade, valuable, and designed to last, their care was a deliberate, slow process aimed at preservation. There was no rush, no disposable mentality. Each wash, each fulling, was an act of prolonging the life of the garment, reflecting a profound respect for craftsmanship and resources. You can almost feel the calm, measured pace of their laundry days, a stark contrast to the frantic rush of modern life. It's a powerful reminder that true value often lies in durability and careful maintenance, not in fleeting trends. This deliberate pace ensured that clothing was a cherished possession, not a transient commodity. Let's delve into the specific techniques for drying various fabric types beyond just sun and shade. For very thick items like padded winter clothing or heavy blankets, specialized drying methods might have been employed. These could include spreading them out over warm ondal floors during cold weather, allowing the gentle radiant heat to draw out moisture slowly and evenly, preventing mildew. Or for items requiring faster drying, they might be placed near a controlled fire, with constant turning to avoid scorching. Imagine the meticulous repositioning of a heavy blanket over a warm floor, ensuring every part received adequate heat, a silent testament to the patience required. This careful management of heat and airflow for bulky items highlights a sophisticated understanding of drying dynamics. It's like a giant, traditional tumble dryer, minus the two emblee and the electricity. Historians still study the specific temperatures and airflows in Joseon homes to understand their efficacy in drying large textiles. The social gathering around laundry points wasn't just for women. Children, particularly young girls, would often accompany their mothers or grandmothers, observing and gradually participating in the tasks. This was a crucial informal education, teaching them not only the physical skills, but also the social norms and values associated with domestic life. Imagine a young girl, mimicking her mother's scrubbing motions, her small hands learning the rhythm of the wash, absorbing the lessons of diligence and community through play and observation. This multi-generational transfer of knowledge ensured the continuity of these essential skills and fostered a sense of shared responsibility. It's like a living apprenticeship, where wisdom is passed down with every splash and scrub. Watch closely, my dear. This is how you make the fabric sing, a grandmother might gently instruct. The impact of specialized textile production on laundry is also noteworthy. For instance, some villages might have been renowned for producing specific types of finely woven silk or expertly dyed fabrics. Laundresses in these areas would have developed highly specialized techniques to care for these unique textiles, becoming local experts in their preservation. Imagine a laundress from a renowned silk-producing village, her hands possessing an almost intuitive understanding of how to treat the delicate fibers, a skill honed through generations of working with specific weaves. This regional expertise highlights the decentralized nature of textile knowledge and the adaptation of laundry practices to local industries. It's like having a regional sommelier, but for fabrics and their care. Historians still map the locations of historical textile production centers to understand the corresponding laundry specializations. The use of specific tools for agitation beyond just rubbing was likely also present. While not a mechanical washing machine, simple wooden paddles or sticks might have been used to agitate clothes in large tubs, especially for heavier items or to reach submerged layers. This would have augmented the hand scrubbing, helping to circulate water and cleanser more effectively through the fabric. Imagine a rhythmic stirring motion, pushing and pulling clothes through the soapy water with a sturdy wooden paddle, a pragmatic way to increase cleaning efficiency. It's like a human-powered agitator, giving that extra kick to stubborn dirt. This rudimentary form of mechanical assistance highlights their continuous search for more efficient ways to clean. The connection between laundry and seasonal festivals or rituals further deepens its cultural significance. Certain festivals might have involved wearing newly laundered or specially prepared clothing as a sign of respect, renewal, or celebration. The act of cleansing clothing could symbolize purification before entering a new phase or participating in a sacred event. Imagine the collective anticipation of a spring festival, with families meticulously cleaning and preparing their finest garments, the clean clothes becoming part of the celebratory atmosphere. It's a powerful link between the mundane act of washing and the profound spiritual or communal rhythms of life. These clothes are ready for the gods, someone might declare, with a hint of playful reverence. This integration of laundry into wider cultural practices elevates its meaning beyond mere hygiene. Finally, consider the sensory memory of clean clothes. For Joseon Koreans, the feeling of freshly laundered and fulled garments against the skin, the subtle scent of natural cleansers, and the crispness of the fabric would have been a profoundly comforting and familiar sensation. It wasn't just about hygiene. It was about comfort, dignity, and a sense of well-being derived from meticulous care. You can almost feel the smooth, cool touch of a freshly fulled hanbok, a quiet luxury in a simpler time. It's a reminder that sensory experiences, even those related to daily chores, play a crucial role in shaping our perception of comfort and contentment. This deep sensory connection transformed the utilitarian into the delightful. Let's imagine the specific challenges of cleaning particular types of stains that were prevalent in Joseon-era life. Mud from unpaved roads and agricultural fields would have been a constant battle, requiring thorough scrubbing and often multiple rinses. Food stains, especially from fermented foods like kimchi or soy sauce, would have presented unique challenges due to their strong pigments and odors. Blood stains, particularly from hunting or accidental cuts, would have required immediate attention and cold water to prevent setting. Imagine the determined effort of a laundress facing a stubborn kimchi stain, her knowledge of natural remedies being put to. Oh, the test, perhaps a quick application of rice water to prevent the pigment from binding to the fibers. This daily encounter with diverse types of soil meant a practical, adaptive approach to stain removal, often relying on immediate action and natural solutions. It's like playing a continuous game of stain detective, always trying to figure out the best way to make the culprit disappear. Historians still examine traditional Korean culinary practices to understand the types of stains that would have been most common and challenging. The importance of drying clothes evenly cannot be overstated. Uneven drying could lead to mildew, stiffness, or distorted fabric. This meant constantly turning and repositioning garments hung on lines or laid out on mats, especially larger items. Imagine a laundress periodically checking the drying clothes, feeling for damp spots, gently shifting a blanket to ensure complete and uniform drying. This meticulous attention to detail during the drying phase was crucial for achieving the desired crispness and preventing long-term damage. It's like rotating your food in an oven to ensure it cooks evenly, but for your clothes and powered by sunlight and air. This constant monitoring ensured optimal results. The role of natural disinfectants and deodorizers beyond just airing was also integral. For instance, smoke from wood fires, particularly in homes with ondal heating, might have had incidental deodorizing properties for clothes hung nearby. Certain herbs, when dried and placed among clothes, could also act as insect repellents. Imagine the subtle scent of pine smoke clinging to winter garments, a natural defense against stale odors and unwelcome pests. This practical integration of environmental factors into garment care demonstrates a clever use of available resources for multiple benefits. It's like their version of a multi-purpose fabric spray, but all natural and built into their living environment. Historians still research the incidental health benefits of traditional Korean architecture and heating systems, including their effects on clothing hygiene. The division of labor within the extended family, particularly in multi-generational households, would have also influenced laundry. Older women might oversee the entire process, guiding younger family members, while different individuals might specialize in certain tasks, like water fetching or fulling. This shared responsibility ensured that the demanding task of laundry was distributed, reducing the burden on any single individual. Imagine a grandmother, her wisdom gleaned from decades of laundry, directing the efforts of her daughters and granddaughters, a harmonious collaboration across generations. This collaborative approach highlights the strength of the family unit in Joseon society and its role in maintaining daily life. It's like a well-oiled laundry machine, but every part is a person. The aesthetic of a crisp, white hanbok was not merely a personal preference. It was a powerful symbol of national identity and cultural purity. White clothing, worn by commoners, distinguished Koreans from their neighbors and became a source of collective pride. Maintaining this pristine whiteness through meticulous laundry practices was therefore an act of affirming cultural identity. Imagine the visual impact of a crowd of Koreans, predominantly dressed in immaculate white, a striking and uniform expression of their cultural heritage. This profound connection between laundry and national identity elevates a mundane chore to a patriotic act. It's like wearing your national colors, but the colors are pure white and achieved through tireless effort. This cultural significance added another layer of importance to every wash. Finally, consider the idea of laundry as a form of mindfulness. The repetitive motions of scrubbing, rinsing, and beating, the focus required for stain removal, and the patience needed for drying, could all contribute to a meditative state. It was a time for quiet reflection, for connecting with the rhythm of one's body and the natural world. Imagine the laundress, her mind perhaps wandering or focused intently on the task, finding a sense of peace and accomplishment in the physical act of cleaning. This transformative potential of manual labor, turning drudgery into a form of meditative practice, offers a powerful insight into the inner lives of people in the past. It's like ancient Zen practice, but with bubbles and clean clothes as your reward. This deeper, almost spiritual, dimension elevates laundry beyond the purely functional. Let's imagine the very end of the Joseon laundry cycle, the folding and storing of the immaculately clean and fulled garments. This was not a hurried task, but a meticulous art form. Each hanbok, each piece of fabric would be carefully smoothed, folded along its natural creases, and then stacked or placed with precision in wooden chests or cabinets. The goal was to prevent new wrinkles, maintain the crispness achieved through fulling, and ensure proper airflow to prevent mustiness. Imagine the precise movements of hands smoothing out every inch of fabric, the crisp sound of material being folded, the satisfying click as a chest lid closed over a stack of perfectly prepared clothing. This final step was the culmination of hours of labor, ensuring the garment was ready for its next wear, a silent testament to the laundress's dedication. It's like the grand finale of a performance, where every detail matters right up to the last moment. Historians still study traditional folding techniques to understand their practicality and aesthetic value. The concept of repair and reuse was an intrinsic part of Joseon-era textile care, seamlessly integrated with laundry practices. Before or after washing, garments would be inspected for wear and tear. Minor tears were mended, frayed edges reinforced, and worn areas patched. This continuous cycle of maintenance extended the lifespan of every piece of clothing, maximizing its utility and honoring the resources that went into its creation. Imagine a laundress, needle and thread in hand, carefully mending a small tear in a child's garment, her stitches almost invisible, a quiet act of sustainability. This proactive approach to repair minimized waste and ensured that clothing remained serviceable for as long as possible. It's like they had a built-in mend and repair setting for every item, powered by human hands and a frugal spirit. This constant repair meant that clothes were not easily discarded. The cultural significance of children's clothing also played a role in laundry. Children's handbak were often brightly colored and sometimes intricately decorated. While still needing thorough cleaning, they might require gentler washing methods to preserve their vibrant dyes and delicate embellishments. The small size of the garments also made them easier to handle, but perhaps more prone to frequent soiling. Imagine the cheerful array of colorful children's clothes drying in the sun, a splash of vibrancy against the more subdued adult garments, each piece receiving careful attention. This special care for children's clothing reflects the value placed on the youngest members of society and the desire to present them neatly. It's like a mini wardrobe, but with all the complexity of adult clothing care, just shrunken down. The drying conditions for laundry in Joseon, Korea were a constant negotiation with nature. Sunny, breezy days were ideal, but cloudy, humid, or rainy weather posed significant challenges. Laundry schedules would often revolve around weather forecasts, with large wash days planned during favorable conditions. In periods of prolonged bad weather, drying times could extend for days, risking mildew and odors. Imagine the collective relief when a stretch of sunny weather arrived after days of rain, allowing for a long-delayed deep clean of fabrics. This dependence on environmental conditions highlights the intimate connection between daily life and the natural world, a far cry from climate-controlled modern drying. It's like playing a high-stakes game of weather roulette, with your clean clothes as the prize. This constant interaction with the elements made laundry a dynamic and unpredictable task. The subtle differences in laundry practices between urban and rural areas are also fascinating. In bustling cities like Hanyang, communal wells and shared washing areas would have been intensely used, and the sheer volume of laundry might have necessitated more efficient, perhaps even more standardized, methods. In contrast, rural areas might have had more dispersed washing points, relying on local streams or individual wells, potentially allowing for more personalized or leisurely washing routines. Imagine the hurried efficiency of city laundresses compared to the more relaxed pace of their rural counterparts, each adapting to their unique environment. This urban-rural divide offers a nuanced understanding of how practical needs shape daily routines. It's like comparing city driving to country driving, but for washing clothes. Historians still compare urban and rural archaeological finds to understand these subtle differences in daily life. Finally, let's reflect on the profound human connection embedded in Joseon-era laundry. It wasn't just about cleaning clothes. It was about the hands that performed the work, the community that shared the labor, the families whose well-being depended on clean garments, and the cultural values that were expressed through meticulous care. It was a tangible link between individuals and their environment, their society, and their history. You can almost feel the echoes of those hands, those voices, those quiet moments of shared effort, reminding us of a time when the simple act of laundry was rich with meaning. It's a testament to the enduring human capacity to find purpose and connection in the most an array of tasks, transforming them into threads of history. So as the sounds of ancient fulling blocks fade into the distance, and the crisp scent of natural cleansers gently dissipates, allow your mind to drift. The rhythmic splash of water, the soft rustle of drying fabrics, the quiet murmur of shared labor, let these gentle images guide you towards a tranquil sleep. Picture the moonlight softly illuminating a courtyard, where clothes, now perfectly clean and crisp, hang silently, imbued with the quiet dignity of a well-cared-for life. There's a calming peace in the simplicity of it all, a reminder that even the most arduous tasks can carry their own quiet beauty. Let the soft hum of your fan blend with these imagined sounds, creating a soothing lullaby. Your own clothes are clean and waiting, effortlessly so, thanks to the marvels of your modern world. Rest easy, knowing that the spirit of meticulous care, passed down through centuries, still echoes in the fabric of human history. Let go of any lingering thoughts, any worries, and simply sink into the comfort of your bed. The day's journey is complete, and the stillness of the night invites you to deep, restorative sleep. All is well, all is quiet, and the world is gently turning. Good night.